Okay, sorry about that delay. Can I go ahead and start the meeting when everybody please rise for the pledge and then
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You can be seated. Roll call, please.
John Bruton.
Here.
John Boyd.
Here.
Terry Alfrey.
Here.
Jim Nunez Jr.
Here.
Nan Harris. Here.
Okay, first item on the agenda is the minutes from June 16th and July 21st.
Do you need two separate motions or just one for both of them? I move that we approve the minutes for both meetings.
I second.
Been moved and seconded, approved minutes from July 21st and June 16th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5-0. One item under new business, APC 2025-10, Joshua Plessinger, rezoning R3 to R2. The other way around. R2 to R3, sorry.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's confusing anyway. And I assume you're Josh?
Yeah,
Terry, were you at the meeting?
I talked to them today about what went on. As far as I was told, nothing was, no opposed was there.
Yeah, it was,
It was 7-0 and nobody came forward.
it was approved and forwarded to us for council favorable recommendation, all members. Any discussion on it, or do you want to say anything, Josh?
I don't need to say anything.
What's the change from R2 to R3? Do you
It's
know?
the housing.
Yeah, it's a duplex to a
Duplex.
four, or a triplex or four
Duplex
unit.
or tri-
Yeah.
And this is the house that's catty corner to the library, if anybody didn't
Yep.
know, right?
Yeah.
No, how it changed.
So should we ask if there's anybody here?
It's already went through the hearing process. It's up to this body now.
Okay. Since I see there was none opposed at that particular time, and we depend on this board, and we have a representative that is on that board. I suggest that we take their advice and then we pass it.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to have APC 2025-10 approved. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5-0. That just required one reading, right?
Two more readings for the
Okay.
So if you want to suspend the rules and have the second reading, you can do that, or you can wait till the next meeting.
I suggest we suspend since there's nothing here and there's nothing there.
Okay.
I make a motion to suspend the rules
And have the second reading
and
then.
have the second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and have the second reading of APC 2025-10 by title only. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5-0.
Ordinance number 2025-10, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Winchester and the county of Randolph, state of Indiana.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept. All in favor, say aye.
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 And everybody? Motion carries 5-0.
So if you want to have the third reading or not.
Move that we suspend the rules and have the third reading by title only of 2025-10.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and have a third and final reading of APC 2025-10 by title only. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Sorry. Ordinance number 2025-10, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of Winchester and the county of Randolph State of New York.
Move to accept.
Motion to accept.
Been moved and seconded to accept. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
I'll be the second.
Sign that. Okay, last meeting, fireworks were brought up. Chief Burke provided you guys with a fireworks ordinance that he put together. I think the only notes I had on it, Jim had mentioned wanting the actual penalties or fines listed rather than the reference to penalty 10.99. Other than that, did you guys have anything else to add to that, or you want to move forward with something, or what is your wishes?
Well, I thought it was too stringent. Like, I can see changing it the hour throughout the year, but I can't see limiting to basically 1 week and 2 holidays out of the year. That's my opinion. I think it limited to 1 week, the week of July 4th, New Year's Day, maybe New Year's Eve. I think that our officers have better things to do. So try to enforce that.
No, I
And
think
some
like,
people celebrate that way. I mean, some people have fireworks for weddings or, whatever.
But it has a clause in there that had, I forget which one it was, for special occasions. But who do you see?
Who do you
That's,
see?
Yeah.
What constitutes a special?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But there was a
Not an
special
issue
clause.
from June.
Mr. Burke, would you like to speak to that?
So basically what you got is a cookie cutter ordinance that I've used from another city or town. What you're explaining or what you're defining as being too stringent, that's the only part that we cannot be more stringent about because that's the state law.
Okay.
So we have to leave that completely alone. The state law says that the week of July 4th up to, I believe, the 9th or the 10th, fireworks are allowed. Also, they're allowed on New Year's Eve and Christmas Day, if I remember correctly. So, and then the other part of it is that statute that's listed in there. That is what the statute. That's the statute that I quoted from the state.
Mhm.
That says that there will be time to time that statute would be amended. So they left that open like that, so that way, if their statute changed, then our ordinance would say, hey, we follow that state statute. Okay, so right now, you have no ordinance that says that people can go out here 365 days a year and do fireworks. This helps to eliminate that because I'm pretty sure your community would get a little tired if you were having fireworks every day of the week. So this is something that probably should have been done quite a while back, and it was brought up, but we didn't go any further at that point. But we have had some complaints about them, and this way, it just helps to regulate them. Also, in that ordinance, it also says that if there's somebody, you have to be the age of 18 to be in possession of the fireworks, unless there's a parent or guardian that's there with them. It also regulates that you can't be letting off the fireworks on somebody else's property unless that person gives them the permission to let off the fireworks. Obviously, we have a lot of fireworks that go off on the city streets. That's not allowed. So can't be going on to somebody else's property without their authorization to set off fireworks. So that's the cookie cutter ordinance that I seen out there for fireworks, well, it's consumer fireworks.
So the state is already that strict, is what you're saying?
That is
That's the
correct.
state, yeah.
They have a state statute, and in that ordinance, it says you follow the state statute.
So it's just 1 week and a couple days. Gotcha.
New Year's and Christmas, if I remember.
So the state is already saying,
We can't touch them.
I mean, but the state's already saying, no, you can only do it the 1 week.
Yes, we follow
Okay.
that state statute.
All right. Well, I mean, if the state's already that strict, then,
But what the ordinance does is keep people from doing it the other time during the year.
well, I mean, that's what I'm at. I think that's what we're asking. I thought the state was not as stringent. I thought the state was allowing it at any time during the year.
No,
Okay, they are only allowing it what you put in
their
there,
state statute says those particular dates and times.
and then it leaves it up to us for the rest?
Yep. And
Okay,
the same for other cities and towns, and a lot of cities and towns just follow what the state statute says.
yeah.
But what I think what you're also asking is when other towns have 4th of July celebrations before and after, is because they have permits for those people to fire fireworks, which is a different thing than.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, we're talking about
Yeah.
consumer.
Yeah, I'm just asking about
That's why you
consumer.
kept saying consumer.
Yeah.
So at least we have something, as our chief is indicating, at least we would have something
Oh,
to
absolutely.
help them out.
Yeah.
To help our citizens if we decide to pass this.
So at this point, do you want this in ordinance form for Mix to move forward with it, or you want to table it? What do you guys want to do?
I recommend we do that. I mean, the chiefs put in a lot, the police officers put in a lot of
Mhm.
hours and stuff by gathering information that we asked him to, and he's found the best thing for us to go by. I think we should honor that.
I would recommend though, because on the handout that we were given, it stopped at July 4th. And I think we need to extend that out another week, or at least like if the 4th, because I think I was using the example, the 4th the 4th ended up on a Friday this year. So I could see people shooting off fireworks on the 5th and the 6th.
Yeah,
Because
it
it was
goes
the
all the
week.
way up to the 9th.
Yeah, I think for some reason it just stopped at the 4th on the handout we were given, so.
Oh.
It did the week prior. It talked about the week prior, but then it stopped at July 4th, so.
But that's.
Well, yeah, because the state statute says that you can go up to, I believe, the 9th.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying, I would definitely want to make sure.
Well, I
that
can
that's-
definitely check to
Yeah.
make sure you get the correct one. Or if you proceed with it, then, the big thing is we're gonna follow what the state statute says. Because when you start going off of the state statute, you're opening yourself up to a lot of other different things going on, in my opinion.
So are you guys good with Mix moving forward, drafting an ordinance?
Yes, please.
We need a motion.
I
I'll make
don't
a
know.
motion that we go ahead and have our lawyer pursue this, what our chief put together.
A second? Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Go ahead and put something together if you would.
Thank you.
Divas Boutique, who wants to speak?
Hi, great. So it's been a while since we've been here, and we wanted to update you, what has happened since the last time we spoke to you
Would
guys.
you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Kristen Musgrove, co-owner of Divas Boutique.
Keitha Rouse, co-owners of Divas Boutique.
So since we were last here, we have secured the building, but we are still seeking city to back us in growing our online presence, which online creates foot traffic in our downtown area. We want to update the upstairs to make it more appropriate for just local entrepreneurs or single-handed business owners that could just be up there and just enhance the building and, I guess, back us to grow our business and bring more people in, have more jobs upstairs, but also have more foot traffic through us. and through the business that's gonna be, residing beside us.
Anything you got in, Dan?
What's the ask?
We still are asking for the 25,000.
It's been a while.
Okay, I'm sorry, we still are asking for the 25,000 that we had originally asked for.
And that's a loan?
Yes. That just helps secure the building, us financially to move forward with everything that we wanna, we're hoping to do with the building and bring in upstairs.
Is that like a 5-year payback term?
Mhm.
I forget, I'm
I
sorry.
think that's what we originally said.
That was a 5-year payback.
0%.
0%, 5-year payback. Sorry.
That's
I
okay.
just didn't remember.
It's okay.
And you got the owner of the building
Yes,
right here,
yes.
Jim Keener?
Yes,
Lisa,
absolutely.
you guys got anything to say or add, or?
No, I'll just say that they rented from me for about 4 or 5 years. Keith and Krista had. They've been great renters. We started out with the rent pretty low and then we jumped it up, and they never missed a rent payment. I know their work ethic much better now than before. They go all over the United States buying clothes, Chicago and some of the big sales, Dallas and Atlanta. They work hard at it. And I know from a work ethic standpoint, I've been up there and they've been getting ready for their Christmas sale and things like that. They work well into the night, trying to get everything just right so they have a good presentation for the next day. And so I just feel that they're a good young couple girls that's trying to get ahead. And from what I've seen from the outside looking in, that they're certainly gonna do that. They're gonna be successful. They have been for about longer than that, but you've run it on for me for about 5 years. They came into that side of the building. That's where Tom Batt used to be with the Country Gentlemen. And then I bought the building from him. And they asked my permission, if they could make some changes to that side of the building. I don't know if any of you have been in there lately, or even right after they first moved in, they fixed that place up and it looks just as good as anything you'll see in Indianapolis from a boutique standpoint, and even better. I know there's cars that pull up in front there with, 4 or 5 ladies in it. They come in from Muncie and Richmond and Newcastle and all around, just in talking in our conversations. So they have a thriving business, and they've secured some renters already for my side of the business where Mrs. Coase was. So they're wanting to move in just as quick as they can. And so I think, it'd be a good thing. It's a good storefront for Winchester around the square. They've always been supportive of the downtown and things going on there from Mardi Gras to, all the other stuff. So they just need a leg up and a chance to do something good for themselves and the community. So I appreciate your favorable vote if you can do that.
Thank you, sir. Council, questions?
You say you have people wanting to rent the other side already? Do you have any idea of how many people they want to employ or something?
It's a couple. They have started with a store manager. They've already hired on another girl, but once they expand into this bigger space, they're already an established business, well-established business. They just need more space, and they're looking to hire at least a couple more people once they start growing their business, but they can't hire them until business booms.
No, I understand.
So, we don't want to say without them knowing, who it's going to be, but they
We want
are.
them to announce
They're a downtown
once they
business.
get in there.
Well, that's
We
why
want
I didn't
them
ask. I
Yeah,
just thought
yeah.
maybe if you
to-
knew.
We do have a girl going in upstairs,
She's looking to do massages upstairs.
but we'll wait and let her announce.
We do have some events, some senior events that we're going to plan this year for upstairs for our high school girls. So,
We got a few things we want to do upstairs to get it ready to do that. And
Yeah.
we got another girl that might be going in up there as well, so
just an old business that needs a little bit of TLC upstairs to make it, I guess, more present, modern.
It's like to me, they've working pretty good with it. I'm favorable.
The only question, did we get the
Yeah.
financial paperwork? Did you guys get that turned down?
For the bank, we did not need, for the bank, we did not need that. Yes,
But everything else is,
secured, yes. The building is already secured with us. Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So Carrie, where would you get this money? Because they're asking for 125?
25.
25,000.
Oh, 25,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
You're willing. I thought my hearing was bad.
Maybe I should turn this way to hear a little bit.
I was gonna say, in the
Okay.
past, any loan like that's come from edit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 25,000, okay, sorry, I pushed your bubble already. So 25,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I know we come out of edit.
okay, so I would come out ahead of it. In the past, how we've done it in the past 2 years, we've done like we did Jason Allen and those guys, we did a forgivable loan, okay? I know they didn't ask, he didn't either. With a 3-year, so they could stay in business, give them an incentive. And with this much already, they have already kind of guaranteed business, downtown traffic and more business. With a 3-year forgivable loan to keep them here, my opinion would be for them to do a 25,000 forgivable loan, 3-year, to stay in business. And if you don't stay in business, you pay that 25,000 back to us. That's just my opinion, like we've done in the past with others, just like Mr. The gun shop. We just did that to them 2 years ago. And theirs was 40,000. So I'm just saying.
There?
I like what they're doing. I am kind of curious on, with us not having the paperwork, what it would be, as far as the financial requirements. I don't think they're going anywhere. And I think they have offered a great service to Winchester, but I just want to make sure we cover ourselves on that.
Dan?
I would just agree with Bear. We just have to cover ourselves, and you're saying 3 years forgivable and they're asking for 5 over 5, so if it's forgivable, I guess it doesn't matter if they can pay it back.
So technically, I like you said, the way it's been structured in the past, go 3 years and they're still in business, basically it's forgiven. If they don't, then it's prorated.
It's been done both ways. You've done forgivable and you've done non-forgivable. So when you say in the past, I mean, you've done them both.
Right. John?
Liberty.
I'd like to see the paperwork just to cover ourselves, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, I definitely.
So I guess what you're saying is you want to see the document drawn up by Mix that states they're getting 25 forgivable loan and they have to pay it back within, if they don't stay in business for 3 years, they have to pay it back.
Yes.
And how it's structured. You understand that, Mix?
Do you want any other documents other than that? Because they're here. If you need anything from them, you'll want to ask them.
Their passes already give us, and also Jim has already stated, very good attendance, they paid and stuff. That's good enough that I see in their pass record.
So in the past, when you did the forgivable loan, you tied it to certain things that they would do in the building. Are you asking for that to be invested in the building, or just $25,000 for the business? Because like the gun shop, you said, well, it was more like a facade type thing.
Yes, for repair of the.
Yeah, repair of the-
Yeah, because the structure was coming
So
down
are
in the
you
back.
asking for that repair of the second floor, or what are you guys asking? I need to put some sort of term in there, what the purpose of the,
Probably because it would be an investment that we would be doing. Yeah, that would be fair because that's what we did to Jason and that's what we did to Mr. Holly. I'm trying to think of his last name. Because that's an investment. That's an investment. And they've been in business for a while, so yeah, they're not gonna. And they already stepped out, they already got their game already ahead of time. And that's only fair because that's what we did with Mr. Hawley and Mr. Allen.
You got everything you need, Nick?
$25,000 loan forgivable, 3-year payback, and the purpose is for the repair and maintenance of the building. And you'll get,
Repair, maintenance, upgrades.
however, yeah.
When you say 3-year payback, it was 5-year payback or 3 years?
It's 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, it'll be forgiven.
Okay.
Usually what it says is at the end of every year, $8,000, $8,333 will be forgiven. That's how we've done it in the
Okay.
past. So if you, 2 years, 16,600, yeah.
Do you feel that's fair? Okay. It's an incentive.
And before you leave, let me get your telephone numbers again.
So I need a motion to that effect then, if that's what you're wanting.
I make a motion that we have a 3-year agreement, forgivable loan for $25,000 with our lawyer making our agreement contract. Would that be right? Is that correct?
Second.
Then moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Opposed, well, abstain, sorry.
4 and 1 abstention. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, Jim.
Yep.
Melissa. Okay,
Watch John.
what's that, John? You get him? Washington Franklin Alley. I been a struggle getting an attorney to answer questions. We did contact an attorney in Muncie. Told me he'd have me something in 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days turned into 2 or 3 weeks, multiple phone calls. And then I find out he's on a leave of absence. So then I try to get another attorney. And since he represents one of the owners, he said he did not want to comment. So I did give it a local attorney. And basically, and I shared this with council as well as Matt, and I think everybody, I've shared it. But anyway, where we're at is potential costs with surveys and everything else could be 30 to 40,000. And that does not touch the fact that if Mr. Briggs would go ahead and build his garage, which he's got approval by the BZA, right? That garage would be basically sitting on the alley where the city would potentially have to buy that garage or move that garage. So then you're talking in, how much you got to spend on that garage?
150.
So that's where we're at.
As I've always stated, that it gave us, that I saw the documents. It's an alley from Washington up to half, right there to, the alley is specified alley up to there. The rest of it does not say alley, that I've seen documents and stuff. And our lawyer saw that, and I stay the same, not to open it up. Talk to some of the citizens that's on the other side, and which is on Franklin Street. They tell me they wish the alley not to be open for safety reasons. And so far that it's been so kind of peaceful. Every once in a while they'll have fast cars or whatever, but it's been pretty darn peaceful. And I know that we had it closed. We decided not to open it long time ago. And I feel that that should be the same judgment, to keep it closed, and that this should be a dead issue. And it should be just, if they wanted, if the citizens and that lives there, they wanted to pursue it anymore, it should be a, what do you call that, man?
Civil matter.
Civil matter. Civil matter.
Versus city matter.
Yeah, city, but that's my opinion, it's already been closed, it's already been done deal, that's just my personal opinion. According, because I did the campaign around it, and it should be done.
Anybody else?
Well, I agree wholeheartedly with that. It just should be a done deal. It's over and done with, as far as the city's concerned.
Council?
Yes, I voted to have an attorney look, another attorney look into it to get a second opinion. I wanted to be sure that it was not a case that because that the city had maintained the alley for however many years, that it did not mean that the city owned it, basically. Through looking into the second opinion, through looking into what our attorney's opinion was, and then also looking into the potential cost, I cannot be in favor of trying to open the alley up. I've heard both sides in regards to very legitimate presentations. It did strike me about the safety issue, like how you talked about your grandchild, how Canada talked about his kids being able to go out. I do understand about, we have a parking problem. I mean, I get that. That's definitely an issue too. But, we had a tornado, we have SB1. I can't look department heads in the eyes or city workers in the eyes and be like, yeah, I'm going to spend $140,000 on this, when we need to be looking at taking care of the people who work for the city and other matters for the city with that money. And so, I mean, yeah, at this point, I cannot vote to move forward. And I truly believe after that it was looked at, I really don't think it's an eminent domain issue. I really don't. Had the attorney come back and said, oh yeah, John, because the city maintained it or it was used as an alley for 100 years, that the city owns it, that'd be a little bit different. That's not what the attorney said for the second opinion. And so that's where I'm at now.
Mayor John Boyd, anything?
Well, I guess from what I've been looking at, it goes from Franklin to Washington. And for the dollar amount and the trouble it's going to be, I'd say we just let it pass. The dollar amount is going to oversee any amount of, $30,000 to $40,000 is a pretty good chunk of change for a little 30, 40 feet long. So I still think back in the day, someone made an error, and since it was already on the plat from end to end, they just didn't label down there. But I don't think there's no way we can prove any of that. So back in the day, it was all handwritten, and so I would have to say I can't vote to open it up or go spend that kind of money on them. Barry?
I have thought this from day one, not because of anything against you guys. I've always been friends with Cannon. I cannot believe through all this we cannot come up with something. But when you're talking $40,000, I mean, Mr. Briggs puts a garage up, it gets up around $200,000. Personally, I apologize to the Bushes. you know, that I feel like we've let them down. I really do. I mean, I feel like that somehow we didn't find a resolution to this, not because of the Cooks. You know, if it's their land, it's their land, you know, but I don't know why we couldn't come to, you know, through the attorneys, through the court system, why we couldn't do this, but I agree. I mean, I can't put up $200,000, you know, for the city's money to fight something like this. But I do apologize to you, because I don't think it's fair, but I don't think would be fair with Cooks if it, you know, was in their favor. That's where I'm at.
So to put this to rest, so everybody can move on with life, I'd like to have basically a motion to basically drop this and let everybody move forward.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and, drop this.
Did anybody have anything to add before?
I think the motion would be not pursuing the open meeting
Okay,
law.
that's what I want to do. I'll make a motion.
Been moved and seconded. Anything else?
Did anyone from out there?
I actually, did anybody have anything to add?
I do. Can we see about vacating the alley from Washington to our property line so that this is not brought up again? So
You
that
can
it's a
file,
private drive?
somebody can file a petition, the adjoining landowner can file a petition to vacate that.
Because I just don't want to have to, in 3 months' time, Missy Williams show up and change people's mind again. You know what I
We
mean?
need
I
a-
want this done and over with.
The proper statutory procedure would be to file a petition. At that time, there will be set for a public hearing. And then after the public hearing, then the council can determine within its discretion what to do.
Okay.
So there would need to be a written petition filed with the mayor's office or the clerk.
I just don't know any other way not to have it brought up in 4 months.
And I'm not sure you would be one to be able to file that
would,
petition. I would
yeah.
think it would be the Bushes or those ones. But
Right,
I don't know what the statute says.
All right, thank you.
How would that affect the utility rates going in?
At that point, we would have to look. I mean, I don't know if there's utilities going through there. I don't know.
And how would that affect the Bushes?
I would think that they would have to think long and hard because then they need a shared driveway agreement. Who's gonna take care? Now, the city would take care of that because it's an alley. So then you'd have things to think about if I were the president. But that's up to them.
Finish. For the vote.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Ordinance 2025-9, ambulance fees. Scott, you were out last time. You got anything to add to this? They did 2 readings. It's ready for the 3rd. I think you and me had spoke about even Muncie's.
Muncie's raised theirs. Ours is pretty cheap compared to Muncie's, so. I did pull it. So Muncie's basic fee went from $550 to $1,600. And ours is $600, $800, so. It's just, and then their advanced went from $950 to $1,200, ours is at $950. And then their, paramedic was $2,000 to $2,900, and ours is, $1,300. And their mileage per loaded mile went from 15 to 30, so ours is 16 to 18, so we're still way below the. And then Medicaid, Medicare was like, you could actually raise it like 400%. So.
That was gonna be my question. What's the interest?
That's, that was the state,
That's the state.
that's what the state allowed was 400%. So, and we're not even close to that, so.
Are we doing these increases because of the other cities to keep up with them, or are we doing these for a need?
Medications are going up.
So all our costs is going up too, so, I mean, what we buy goes up. Anything in the medical field just, is through the roof. It's 3 times what anybody else pays. So,
Anything in public
service. It's way up,
Yeah,
and we have no control of that, they pretty much have us. Anything with police, fire attached to it is the roof.
Any other questions for Scott?
I move,
I didn't hear what you said.
I was gonna say, well, no, you have another question?
No.
Okay. I move that we have the third and final reading by title only of ordinance 2025-9.
Second.
So moved and seconded to have 2025-9 read by title only for the third and final reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5-0.
Ordinance number 2025-9, an ordinance amending and restating section 34.31A of the Winchester Code of Ordinances relating to the fee provisions of the emergency medical services.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
So moved and seconded to accept. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5-0. Got one. Copy going around. Last meeting had a couple, well, they were new, so they didn't ask the question, but they asked the question afterwards. They were asking about East North Street, possibly going to a two-way street rather than a one-way street. And Sheen, I think you may have talked to him a little bit. I'm thinking, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Did they make that a one-way street because of traffic coming out of Ardall and the buses at the same time?
Ardall lets out at 3 and school lets out at 3. It doesn't make sense to bring Ardall traffic that way when everybody's getting out Union. I mean, that was just kind of a common sense, understanding of it. I didn't really do a whole lot of homework on it, but it would be a fiasco if this all hits at the same time. There's no issues down there now the way it is. It is rather narrow with parking on both sides. I think it's fine the way it is. We would probably have to either make parallel parking on the north or south side to allow two-way traffic down that road. I mean, there would be a lot of other things that would have to go in to try and open that up going both ways. That's just my suggestion.
And then the other thing I had is I got an email regarding the condition of Southwest Street from, let's say, the B&B South, as far as the junk vehicles, dilapidated housing, things like that. Mike actually started working on that side of town last week. I was approached by a resident on that street that actually is wanting to sell their home, knowing that it needs to come down. So that might be something I bring to you guys, since we figure out whether they've got multiple liens or whatever. But it's a home that needs to come down. So I think we're gonna try to start working on that street a little bit and concentrate on getting it cleaned up. Now, whether we can acquire any properties through whatever means to get it cleaned up, we'll go from there.
On what? What was the address on that?
418.
I have it on my phone. I'll tell you in a second.
422.
422
South or
Southwest. It's been cited numerous times. No,
was the one on South Main also cited? 4 houses down from me on South Main, that one house right by the curb.
where the tree fell on it.
Yeah, that one.
We picked that up at tax certificate sale this week.
Okay, because my neighbors have been complaining with the tall grass, seeing.
Yeah, we have not bothered citing it because we would be the ones ended up releasing the lien. So there's no point in liening a property when you're already gonna take possession of it. So that,
It was just the tall grass, seeing animals you know,
Yeah.
and all the other neighbors are cutting their grass and.
Right. I've got bids to take that down, and I gotta get the asbestos people in. There's probably about $6,000 worth of asbestos abatement there.
Okay.
So anyway, that, actually Sheen and I were there when the tree got removed, and we told the guy at that point that that house wasn't savable, and he bought it from somebody on contract. The guy ended up losing money because he bought it on a contract, didn't record the contract, and we picked it up through a certificate sale.
I mean, I know I should wait for citizens concerned, but I'll just, you know, because there's just so much.
No, if you want to go ahead and start, you go ahead and start. We'll go around and then we'll hit citizens' concerns.
Okay, that property there is because of the tall grass, and that's the only reason why the neighborhood. Everybody else is cutting their grass, and that's the only one that sticks out, is that property there is, can we have our guys or whatever at least mow the front of that thing there? I know that what you're telling me, by the time you knock down the house and this and that, but the
I mean, they can knock, we can have them go out front and knock down the weeds and
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Can you do that, Sheen?
Yes.
at least do that.
I mean, we're gonna pick up the trash cans and,
Yes.
yeah, it's a
Because they
mess.
keep floating out, and sometimes I bring it back on there, you know, because I know there's nobody living there. And it keeps floating out to South Main Street, so that would be appreciated
We'll
from the
take care of
neighborhood.
that.
So, but I know you have to go around the table first before we go into.
Well, you're starting.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, okay. So on that, since we're talking about District 3, Larry Preston was approached to me from our District 3 about Bill Geyer's park. And there's some trees there that's now growing, the silver maples. And he was asking if we could take all those rods that's there, because they're already straight. And if we could take those rods out. And I said, well, yeah, I don't see why we couldn't. And but we need to save the rods, because the mayor and I are working on another project that we need the rods for. But there's one dead tree there that we need to actually take that out.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I got a plan for it, yep.
Okay. And maybe we should get another, the mayor and I was talking about getting another silver.
Sheen's gonna take care of that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And then he had another suggestion for another project down there on, and I said, well, you just need to come to our city council meeting and explain to you what maybe some of the citizens wanted to do to improve that area. So it's just another citizen's concern.
He's on the agenda for the 15th of September. Already put him on there.
Okay.
And I talked to him the other day when I was out walking, so.
Okay. So that's just, I wanted to make sure that was said, because he approached me about that. And at this time, that's all I have from my District 3.
Terry?
The only thing I had, and Shane will be able to answer this, I think I know the answer, but just let it go on record. The banks across from Goodrich Pool, it seemed like when we had all that rock put down, it was like beautiful. And now it's all grown up. Is there a reason that we haven't kept that down?
I mean, I don't want to spray chemical into a waterway. There's some towns that do that. And I'm not really gonna ask my guys to jump out on that slope and weed eat it. Like I said, I know there's cities that do spray those. That is a running creek. I can't by law do that. I don't like it either
I was
anymore.
just asked
Yeah.
because it was gorgeous.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That whole thing was.
I couldn't
taken
agree.
care of.
I couldn't agree more. But I mean, without spraying, I don't know what you do. We probably could. It's up to the fire chief. I'd be more happy. I like making fires, but yeah, I mean.
Thank you.
That's what we used to do on the farm, burn the ditches. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but I can do some looking up and see what we can do to get it back looking good, like it
And I
did.
know you guys have been super shorthanded and everything else, but I was asked.
Okay, no, I drive by it every day and it makes me mad too, so I get it, but
Thank you.
you're very welcome.
Nan?
Had someone out on South Street, when we're getting ready to repave that.
Mhm.
Is there anything in the bid to resurface where South Street dead ends on the other side of Greenville? That small section that dead ends? That's what they
Like
asked.
where Tippets live and,
Yeah.
Opie's dad.
It just stops at the end of South where it merges into Greenville.
No, it goes on.
No, I mean, as far as
That's where it's
far as
stopping?
community crossings grant,
Okay,
it
it
stops.
stops right
Yeah,
there.
it does
Okay,
stop
that's
there.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All I got.
Lloyd?
My end of town's doing pretty fair.
Good.
Haven't had too many complaints, or actually haven't had any. Except for we do have a couple houses down there that could use some attention.
We're working on them. John Bridgen?
Yeah, I'm good at this time.
I will add, and Scott, if you could maybe put this in the paper, we did pass a new dumpster pod ordinance. So people need to start getting permits when they drop the dumpsters on the streets, because they're still doing it and they need to be coned, and we'll get it. Did you get a copy to Best Way?
I did.
So we'll get copies out to all the locals that drop the pods and dumpsters. But that needs to be, people need to pay attention, because we just keep getting them dropped and nobody knows who's dropping them, and very dangerous at night when you're coming upon a dumpster with no markings or anything in the dark. Department heads. Gene, you want to go first?
I don't care, sure, I'd love to. But yeah, we, obviously looking at just some cost issues that have been kind of lingering throughout the state. What do we do to save some money? Well, obviously I brought it up to last Board of Works and last council meeting. Meeks, Bob, myself, we put together, and it should be in front of you, a bidder packet for, releasing the trash to the highest or lowest or whatever bidder, whoever shall bid on that. After doing some investigation, Carrie and Brian's helped me out. I think we're anywhere from $120 to $130,000 in the hole by running city trash. The good news would be is we should get a fairly decent discount, because we will continue to, we already have the toters there. We already have records of the toters, so the new company wouldn't have to furnish all new toters. Obviously, replace them as they are broken or need replaced. We're still gonna do large items. That will help as well. And that's a very good thing that we do for the city. So that is also another discount, toward this. Nothing will change. We have kind of a set area. I've talked to a few, or I guess two. I only know Rumpke and Best Way, but you know, our rates are now, neither one would have an issue getting it to that. The billing would still be the same. However, we would, every month at a council meeting, we would write a check for whoever wins the bid. But, you know, we don't have 60 trucks on the road. We don't have our own shop. We're just doing Winchester. We don't have a landfill to dump in. It's a way to kind of scratch out $120,000, $130,000 that we can keep the parks going and other departments going. So it's kind of a no-brainer. But the bid packet is together. Other than that, the community crossings, South Street, everything we talked about, we're moving along fabulous. They are heading up Brown Street now, and the trees are all removed. I would say before hopefully October, we might see some paving happen. And I don't think we've seen a a community crossing go through in the first year since I've been here. So it's moving along rather quickly, so couldn't be happier. The pool, we've had a few hiccups in the last couple of weeks after I bragged on them last time, but nothing that we couldn't get a grip of. Just, we hired children or teenagers to do a job, and it's toward the end of the year, working 7 days a week, and cell phones are obviously a distraction to people, even adults, so. But I think we hopefully got that addressed, and my pool manager had some problems with her family, so she wasn't around, and they started slacking a little bit, but we did get that addressed. I know there was some concerns with that, so, getting ready for Labor Day, obviously getting ready for a new, Little League Diamond, and some other work on the Diamond 3, I believe, so, there's some things gonna be happening in the park over the winter, so pretty, excited about it, and hopefully it brings, more people out, and we can keep serving our community with lots of fun things to do, so. Any questions for me? I'd be happy to answer them.
What do we need to do to move forward with bidding the trash?
Well, the bid packet's out. You guys want to vote to send out the bid? We can do that.
Make a motion that we go ahead and send out the bid for the trash for Winchester.
We have a motion, to have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5-0. I will get started on that
The
thing.
only thing that's not in there that I think needs to be in there, Shane, is dates when to expect the bid back.
Say that again. I'm
You'll need
sorry.
to put dates in there when they expect the bid back.
Okay, not a problem.
Thank you.
And then you have to advertise it and send it to.
Yep, I'm aware.
Mike, Brandon?
So as far as for the police department, happy to report that all of our full-time positions are now filled. Hopefully, I'm not jinxing myself, but we hired our newest officer, Officer Dirksen, last month. So we have one at the academy right now who's planning on graduating the end of this month, and then Dirksen will go to the academy the following month. So we're really rotating them in and out, so that way we can make sure to fulfill the requirements that we have to make. Over the years, the police department's been involved with the DRMO program, which is the demilitarized equipment that we can get from the Department of Defense. Again, this is another happy thing because we've been doing this since the 90s. So it is a good thing that the small arms that we had purchased, like the rifles and everything, we didn't purchase them. We were given them from the DoD. We no longer have to use them because we have our own. We're self-sufficient now. I will tell you that Brandon and I, we made a little trip to Anniston, Alabama last month. It was much cheaper just to take them down ourselves than it was to ship them. So that's the reason why we did that. So the only thing that we really have right now is a Humvee, which isn't armored. We've never really used it for any reason. That's going to be the next thing. But it doesn't go to Alabama, it goes to Columbus, Ohio. So we're going to have it shipped over there. And so that way we will be done with that program for the time being. So I'm very, very happy about that. Working on the fiscal year 2026, it's called the CHIRP grant, which is through Indiana Criminal Justice Institute. Basically, it's our Operation Pullover, as it used to be called. We have a traffic safety partnership with the Sheriff's Department, Lynn Police Department, and soon in 2026 fiscal year, we'll have Union City on board with us as well. So that gives us the overtime money for us to go out and do DUI patrols, speed patrols, things like that to help make our streets and highways safer here in our county. So we're currently working on that, and then lastly, working on 2026 budget. So yeah, been a little busy. And of course, all the ordinances that we've been enforcing. We're almost up to 100 this year already.
Brandon, you got anything to add?
Chief pretty much hit it on the head with everything. Our patrol guys are doing fantastic. They're out there, even with the pretty nasty heat we've had. They've been out, working on this month's report. They were a very busy month in July. Should be receiving new Tahoe this week. I'll start getting it upfitted as soon as that comes in. And I'm in the process of working with the mayor with some cutting edge training stuff that we're gonna try to work on finding a way into that. And it's pretty amazing. But other than that, everything's going pretty well. I won't jinx it, but.
You guys got any questions for the police department? Scott?
Scott Patterson, Winchester Fire Chief. I don't know if you guys have been out to the training center within the last couple of days, but we poured the concrete, some of the concrete for the new training center that's coming. So we poured 71 yards on Saturday. We got a little pads to do yet for the stairs where they're coming down. Shane's been a great help for us. I've been paying for him, but we just go out and take his equipment and use it. So we just tell him what we need and jump in his trucks. And he's been great, and you guys have been great. We've also been busy doing CPR classes. All the teachers are going back to school, so they need all their CPR training, and we're using our training center out the street department, so we take all of Shane's parking for that too. So we've also been, the state's put some stuff on us that we got to do by 2027, and some police stuff. It's more traffic incidents, safety, basically parking trucks and all that. So all that's coming up for us. They've implemented it in the EMS side, so we got to do all that. So all the guys are working on that. So, and all my guys have just got CPR recertified the other day when we did training, so they get evaluated through IU Health to come do that. So that's all I got right now. So.
Scott? Carrie, you got anything?
Nope.
Mitch, you got anything?
No.
Angel?
Nope.
You guys should have budgets that got passed out. I'm gonna be getting with you to set up, you guys will want to meet, a couple of you with department heads at a time. The date is August 18th. That meeting there, we want to have our budgets pretty much ready to go so she can submit. So, like I said, we're gonna hook everybody over the department heads, questions. I think I've laid out everything that I possibly could for you guys, but do your research. And if you have questions, I'm here, Carrie's here, and all the department heads, get a hold of them. But like I said, we'll get with you and we're gonna start meeting and getting things coordinated. So, citizens' concerns. Who wants to go first? Come on, Tom, you came for a reason.
With these guys here, no way.
Like you're afraid.
I'm just an observer. Thank you.
Nothing?
I had a question.
What's your name,
about-
please?
Kelly South.
Okay.
I had a question about the trash bid. So is that going to be continue, pick up out of the street in front of my house, or is any of that changing?
So there is maybe a handful of alleys that we run a small trash truck through that may go out front. But, talking, it's with some of these narrow streets in this town and parking on both sides, it is way more convenient for not only the trash truck operator, but the citizens as well to keep, I'm gonna say roughly 90% of all the trash the way it is. But there are a select few that may have to come out front. Once we get to that, because I don't know what whoever wins this bid, what they might be capable of doing or not doing. So, I mean, that's something we're gonna kind of have to judge offhand. But to see all the trash go out front, there's no way I could see that.
Right, I just roll mine out to the front of my house right now. So
Yeah.
that's gonna.
So
stay the
yours
same?
will stay the same, correct?
Okay.
But that is a question that will probably come up And another question that could come up would be, we got 48 gallon, trash carts, we got 64 gallon trash carts, and we have 96 gallon trash carts. We will go away and move away from the 64 gallons. Only because we do have some residents that aren't as capable to push that big 96 gallon tote out. So that is another requirement we are going to ask, is to make sure we have the 48 gallons and the 96. If you have a 64, you're not gonna be asked to turn it in. It's just when you want a new one, you're either getting 48 or 96.
And you anticipate the cost to the homeowners to remain somewhat the same?
Yes, from talking to everybody, and they said keeping it at I think the average is about $11.50 per home per can. Neither one of them had an issue with that. Obviously, he said, I can't tell you that in 3 to 5 years because rates do increase. I haven't increased anything in 9 years since I've been here. So to see something increase in the next 3 to 5 years, I mean, I could totally see that because we were getting on the verge, and obviously we were running in the hole ourselves, which not doing it, it's a service we weren't doing it to make money, but it was a nice service that we could offer. However, it's a good time to step away from it, just financially.
You're just wanting to outsource.
Correct, yep.
And it's gonna free up some cash, but I mean, just to say it's gonna free up cash to get raises to everybody or whatever, that's not gonna be the case. We had to really step up our IT actually beginning of this year, wasn't it? So cyber attacks and things like that. I think the school got hit a while back. Hospitals got hit. We were very vulnerable, and we saw it, and we kind of, I'll just say, we kind of delayed spending that kind of money on IT because it's not cheap. So part of that money will go to support the IT. And I can tell you, as far as the police, I don't know about the fire, it's been a tremendous help to the police because we struggled with communication even between our cars and different things at times because our IT was lacking. Wouldn't that be correct, guys?
Lacking is a word.
Be nice.
There was a rumor that, the totes were going away, and we were gonna have to take our trash to dumpsters. I'm like, that just doesn't work for me.
So I was approached at lunchtime by Phil Ray today, and I'm going, Scott, feel free to put this in paper. I'm going to help Sheen out here. So Phil Ray asked me if the council meeting was going to be exciting tonight because the rumor apparently around town is that we're doing away with trash collection, period, and everyone's going to have to bring their trash out to the street department or to a local dumpster to dump it. I assured Mr. Ray that is not the case, that trash collection for our residents of Winchester is still going to continue. We're just simply going to have another company come and pick it up for them. And you'll still have a toter, it's still gonna be at your house, you take your trash out to your trash can as your residence, and we have a company come pick it up, just not a city of Winchester employee.
Absolutely.
So let's just put that rumor to rest, so we don't have everybody in a hubbub, all right? I mean.
And we will still continue, obviously, to pick up the trash on the square. We'll still be able to help out with Mardi Gras. We will still continue to do our own trash in the parks. I mean, we still have the small trash truck. So, I mean, we'll still, if something happens, somebody needs help or whatever, they forgot to get their can out and they call it. It's not a big deal. I mean, we'll take care of the citizens here that pay taxes, so.
Awesome.
Anybody else? Just need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, everybody. So what is your bill?
Well, with it being the first week of school, trying to